Hi, this is Tapcat, and as you may have noticed, I'm back. Obviously, we've had a few videos go live in the last couple of weeks. Those were very tightly scripted, though, and I did want to take a few minutes to update you on what's going on, acknowledge the obvious that I'm back, and do it in a way, that doesn't involve this kind of tightly scripted message like I really need to do if I'm doing something like a guide. So, first of all, I just want to thank everybody. I was gone for like a year and a half. I didn't upload anything. And I got so many comments on the channel or even people reaching out to me on Twitter, making sure I was okay, telling me they hoped I'd come back, telling me they missed me and all that. It's really hard to overstate how much stuff like that means. It's genuinely touching. I mean that, like when you haven't uploaded anything for months and months and people haven't just forgotten about you and moved on, because let's face it, there's a lot of other YouTube channels out there. It really meant a lot to me. So just, a sincere thank you for that. On a similar note, so many comments on the new videos saying welcome back and, that you're happy to see me again and all that. That's the same thing. I mean, it's really heartwarming. And I'm glad to be back. Can I just say that? I actually tried to post videos a couple of times while I was away. And they're kind of long stories, so I won't, bog this video down with them now. But I put real work on 2 separate occasions into videos that never ended up going live. Yeah, so you were in my thoughts. So was the channel, even while I was gone. It was a rare day I didn't think about it at all. Another thing I've gotten a lot of is, people saying they hope I'm safe and everything with, what's going on in the world right now. And I'm actually kind of fortunate in that my company that I work for is considered to be, quote, essential. So I, unlike so many people, I still have my income, thankfully. And in addition to that, I'm working from home for the most part. Like maybe once a week, I go into the office for an hour or two, but there's so few people there. It's not really, too risky compared to what it might be if we were all there. So knock on wood, so far so good. Nothing bad has happened to me or my family. So I hope that the same is true for all of you. But I know, a lot of people are really struggling right now, and I hope that gets better very soon. Moving on from that, because that's not the most uplifting topic in the world. A bit of happy news for me personally and for the channel. Yesterday, as I record this, we hit 20,000 subscribers on the channel. And in my eyes, it's kind of a big deal anytime you break through a new, 10,000 rung. But for me in particular, 20,000 had some significance because one of the channels that really inspired me back when I was first thinking about starting a channel, and I just thought, will anybody care? Will anybody watch? There was a channel, The Real Mad Jin, who did XCOM and Civilization 5 Let's Plays, other stuff too, but that was kind of his bread and butter. He had like 19,000 and change subscribers back then. I just thought, wow, that's, so many people. And I know there's much bigger channels, but to me at that time, I just thought, man, if I could ever come anywhere near that level and have the number of people watching me, that were watching his stuff, that would just be a phenomenal accomplishment. And he was somebody who had a style that was kind of similar to mine and somebody I could relate to more than a lot of other channels where they're just so, let's say, high energy and so bombastic, or kind of like a game show host on crack. And that sounds demeaning, and I don't mean it that way, because some of them are actually really good at what they do. But there are people that I can't relate to. There are people that I go, I'll never be like them. He was somebody that I could more see myself like, following in his footsteps in a way. So to break 20,000, and actually exceed the number that he was at way back then, I don't know, just made me feel good, even though intellectually I know the number of subscribers, it's not really important for the health of your channel. What you want are views, and subscribers aren't necessarily going to convert into views. But nonetheless, I thank everybody who ever clicked that button, because at one point they cared enough to say, hey, I'd like to see more of this guy's stuff, even if a lot of them aren't around anymore. But some are, thankfully, and you're the ones I'm talking to. And on that topic, by the way, we've had a really nice surge since I started uploading again. Hundreds of people have joined and helped push me past 20 a lot quicker, than I might have gotten there. So for those of you who have only joined, like say within the last month or two, hey, welcome aboard. I'm glad that I am now uploading again and you don't just have to watch old videos. So yeah, and for that matter, everybody who joined, because even when I was away, believe it or not, like 100, 150 people were signing up every month. So who knew? The key to growing a YouTube channel is just stop recording and uploading, and it'll all take care of itself. All right, so on the news front, what is coming up? Well, more videos. You'll probably be happy to hear. I hope you're happy to hear that. I am going to start a new series. A lot of people have asked about that. So I know I did videos on both Gears Tactics and XCOM Chimera Squad so far. I am going to do a series on Chimera Squad. I don't know if I'll ever do one on Gears Tactics or not, but at least for now, it's going to be Chimera Squad. So I don't know how many people are interested in that, but I hope you'll give it a try. I know I saw some people comment on the first video I did that kind of highlighted the changes between Chimera Squad and the prior XCOM games. I think there's some people who feel like it's not a real XCOM game. It's kind of a glorified mobile game and stuff. I've played it all the way through and I don't feel that way. It's definitely different and I would never dispute that, but yeah, it's got real challenge too, especially playing on Impossible. It's no joke. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. I'm probably going to start episode 1, should go live Monday morning. That's my plan, at least Monday morning Pacific time in the US. So, if you're in Europe or various other places, of course, you'll have to translate that to whatever is appropriate for your part of the world. Beyond the Let's Play, I am also going to be working on more of the kind of scripted material. I have part 2 of the combat guide where we'll focus on what happens in the actual main battlefield. That's obviously a bit more complicated than doing the breach guide. I was actually shocked how much there was to talk about just in the breach guide, partly because it's brand new to XCOM, I think. So I was trying to not just give tips, but to explain how it worked at a very basic level. But at any rate, so I'm going to do that. And then the other thing I thought I would do is, even though I know I'm very late to the party, but I'd like to do an actual review for Chimera Squad. Once I've either finished the game on Impossible or at least played deep enough that I'm comfortable, I know the difference between it and I did my first campaign on the second hardest difficulty, whatever they called it, expert or something like that. I just want to make sure, I can talk about how it plays on Impossible. And, maybe no one besides my own subscribers will ever watch the damn thing, but I've never done a review before, and so I thought I would do that. And depending on how it goes over and what people think of it, I might go back and review the older XCOM games. And I'm talking over a real period of time because it's been so long now. I mean, I know like people think of me and they probably think of XCOM 2, like if they even know who I am. But that's kind of the game I'm identified with, but I haven't played now in something like 2 years. So a lot of the details, they're fading a little bit. And Enemy Unknown even longer. So I would have to go back and really play a campaign again and remind myself what it's like. Let me know, if that's something you're interested in or not. It's certainly not anything I'm going to drop everything and get on, but yeah, I thought it might be interesting to try it. Next, we're also going to have a Q&A. I need to get some of these other things done. I want to make sure I have enough episodes of the Let's Play kind of in the can and ready to go, that won't be interrupted. And I want to finish at least the combat guide and then do the Q&A. So hopefully, let's just say before the end of May, I would do a Q&A and You guys, as always, really, you can ask me about pretty much anything, what was going on while I was off, or different games, did I like, not like, am I interested in, or what's going on in the gaming industry, crap like, Google Stadia or whatever. But yeah, we'll try to get that going sooner rather than later. And I think that covers most of the topics that I wanted to go over, most of the events. But one thing happened that I definitely am curious to ask you about. It's so funny how I was away for so long. And then in one day, I got an email from somebody representing 2K, the publishers of XCOM, offering me, an advanced copy of Chimera Squad. And I mean, what am I going to say? Yes. Yes, I am interested. But then just like 2 hours later, maybe, I got an email from somebody representing Microsoft about Gears Tactics. So that was so strange that these two things came on the same day, because while I get emails all the time offering codes to play games, they're usually these really small indies that, they would be thrilled if a channel with 500 subscribers would just play it and put it on their channel. They're so small, they're starved for any attention. So they have these two AAA companies approach me on the same day. When I've been quiet for so long was funny. But where I'm going with that is then not long after that, I guess it was after I published my first of the new videos, I got a new email from somebody who wanted to place an ad in one of my videos. So not running before the video the way they would arrange through YouTube, but to have me, presumably reading their ad copy and talking about their product like 45 seconds into the start of my video. And the ad specifically was for a mobile game. And I don't really know much about it. It's some sort of action-oriented mobile game. Sure, it's free to play and has microtransactions and all that, the way they do. But what my first instinct was just, nah, man, I don't care about this. But it was interesting because they offered a fair amount of money. And I don't know if they would be offended if I said the actual dollar amount, but I'll just say it's more money than all of the revenue my channel will earn in the month of April, like a good chunk more. So it's not trivial, but here's my point, okay? Because I'm not jonesing for the money, where like I won't be able to feed my family this month if I don't, have this money. It's fine. But here's the part I wanted to ask you about. I'm not above taking ads. I mean, I'm fine with that. Like, I use all kinds of products. And even if it wasn't something I specifically used, I at least think that if it's a product I might use, then, there's no harm. As long as you understand that it's an ad, it's not me just pretending, oh man, I really love this thing. But I feel weird talking about something like a mobile game that I would never play. And if you watch this channel at all, I'm never going to play that thing. So my question to you is, would that bother you? Would you care? Would you not, would it mean anything to you? Is it just something that you would skip past if somebody did it, not just me, but anybody? I did think it was funny because after I saw that email, I was on another channel. I think it was a tech channel, and they literally had an ad. Like they took the offer. They had that exact game, that they did an ad for in their video. And I have to admit, it didn't bother me, but I don't know what they play. See, I feel like that's the difference. I pretty much play strategy games, although I say that. In the last year and a half, I played pretty much no strategy games at all. I literally went from Animal Crossing to XCOM Chimera Squad. That's what I was playing off camera prior to getting offered that advanced copy. So I guess maybe you can't make too many assumptions about what I would or wouldn't play. But okay, I don't want to beat this into the ground and take 10 minutes to cover this topic. So let me know. Just what do you think about it? I don't know that I'll take this ad regardless of what people say, but it's it's interesting to me because if I get offered one, I could easily be offered another. And so I guess that means I'm going to have to find a policy for myself, or at least some sense of a guideline on, am I willing to take just literally anything, like Smith's hemorrhoid cream, or I'm making that product name up, by the way. But laxatives. I mean, is there anything I wouldn't advertise? All right, I've babbled on for way too long on this, so tell me what you think, and we'll go from there. Maybe it's even something that I'll do a whole video about later if there's an interesting enough discussion to be had. We'll see. And I think I'm going to stop talking now because this video is getting a lot longer than I ever intended it to be. So thank you for watching, not just now, but everybody who's been watching for the last year and a half or so when I wasn't around, and before that for that matter. So thank you for watching, and I hope we see you next time.